Premier League time now. So we're talking about the Premier League now, which is cheating because we've congregated here tonight to talk about the Football League. But we just thought, it's 3 weeks to go still. Let's have a wee chat and now see if there's anything that strikes it. Nick Watts, of course, will be our Premier League correspondent throughout the season. But we just thought we'd have a wee chat now, didn't we, about the Premier League? Just a wee kind of late July chat. I think we should talk about the title race because it's pretty fascinating this year. Lots of new managers. The top three in the betting all got new managers, and a lot of different opinions. Mark, who do you think will win the title this year?
I need to be completely and brutally honest and just say I wouldn't be betting on this market at all because it's too tight. 11 to 5, all three were just a few weeks ago. United have just been pushed out to 12 to 5. The last three Premier League favourites have all finished second. But for me, if I had to choose one of them, it'd probably be Chelsea actually. Again, the Mourinho factor is going to have a big play on that. The squad is stronger, I think, than last season when you think about the addition of Andre Schürrle, who I think is a fantastic player, and their rivals of Lukaku and De Bruyne as well, back from their loans at West Brom and Werder Bremen. Man City, I think actually they're weaker than last season. The fact that Tevez and Balotelli have gone and been replaced by Negredo, who I think is slightly weaker than what they had. And Jovetic, who I think is a superb signing, but I'm just not sure he's the right kind of replacement. And United, I think there's too many question marks. They've not been strengthened. Rooney could be leaving. And interesting as well for me, 16 of their 28 wins last year were by just a 1-goal margin. So small margins. David Moyes doesn't seem to be getting his players in early enough for who he wants. Thiago's gone to Bayern. Fabregas doesn't seem to want to go. So Chelsea would be the pick for me.
Yeah, I just worry about Man United this year. I just worry about them. I worry about David Moyes. I watch press conferences and he just looks nervous. You can tell he just looks quite nervous, and I think let's not forget, for me it's 2 steps up the ladder, this particular move for Everton up to Man United. It's not just 1 step up, I think it's 2 steps up. It's a huge job, and I just worry if he gets off to not a bad start but an average start with Chelsea quite early on, I think. And say the mid-table by the end of September, I would just worry. But that's my view at the moment.
I agree
on that. What else have we got here? We've got relegation bet.
Yeah, one thing, I mean, dogs abuse for putting this up on Twitter actually, and I can half understand where people are coming from, but I think Southampton at 10 to 1 for relegation is just too big a price. Why? Well, one of the reasons is second season syndrome. People don't believe it exists. It does. In 3 of the last 4 seasons, a team has been relegated in the second season. QPR at 5 to 1 last year. You were highly rated. Southampton are being really highly rated. There are parallels. Okay, the atmosphere, the squad makeup, the manager. It's all different. I can't understand that, but this is too big a price. I like what they're trying to achieve. If they sign Osvaldo from Roma, I think they'll be fine. They should be fine. They should survive. But again, it's the price. And a lot of judges on Twitter were quick to tell me how magnificent Saints finished and the momentum they took from that end of season. Well, I looked at it, and since December they actually only won 6 of their 25 Premier League games. Yes, they only lost 7 games, but that's enough to think that this price is backable. 10 to 1 is just too big for me.
Interesting, very interesting. I've got 3 here as well, but you tell me your third one. This blew me away. He sent this across a couple of days ago. I genuinely thought he was taking the mickey, but it's a genuine bet. When you tell me about it, when you explain it, I can begin to see the logic, especially when it's a treble figure price. Explain.
Yeah, I think first of all you need to say this is dependent on if he gets his move, which he should get his move. But it's Darren Bent to be top goal scorer in the Premier League at 100 to 1. Let me tell you why. It's an each way bet as well, so if we place £1 now, which is £2 each way, you've got top 4 places. The man has scored 103 Premier League goals in 245 games. Since 2000, 2005, 2006, he's had 3 each way places in the top goal scorer market and missed out on 2 more by 1 and 2 goals respectively in 2 more seasons. I think it's a great each way shot. In the last 10 plus seasons, a non-top 4 club player has finished in the each way places at the Premier League top goal scorer market. No foreign striker has won the Golden Boot in a debut season, and Thierry Henry was the last favourite to win the top goal scorer at 05-06. Throw it all together, and I think Bent at 100 to 1 is too big. Of course, it's dependent on if he gets his move, which he should do.
Yeah.
After being ostracised by Paul Lambert, but there you go.
Yeah, I just see Paul Lambert just laughing. What an idiot. He's got no chance. Anyway, I just came up with 3 as well. Literally just had a quick a quick peek at the markets before we started recording. A couple for relegation here. I like the relegation market. I think there's a lot of value and a lot of juice in it this year. I liked Aston Villa 8-1. I mentioned this on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. I just think they're a side who really struggled last season, as we all know, and everyone's just presuming that these young players will be, train on massively and be twice as good this season. That might not necessarily be the case. I think 8-1 they're interesting. Christian Benteke, he looked like he was leaving, looks like he's staying now. He scored 40% of their goals last season, and I think we've seen a lot of players in the Premier League who great first season and then struggle the year after.
It's actually responsible for 50% of their goals if you take his assists
yeah,
as well.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So I think it's not ridiculous to suggest that Benteke might struggle this season, and if that's the case, they're in trouble. And at 8-1, that interests me. I put this other team up at 9-2 last season, got egged very much in my face, but I'm going in again with West Brom at 10-1 now, 10-1. Because their form really did dip off in the second half of the season. I had a good look at this. Just 4 wins in the second half of the campaign. So 4 wins in the last 19 games. That's worrying form. Romelu Lukaku, of course, was one of their saviours last year. 17 goals last season. He's gone back to Chelsea. So that, I think 10-1 is a huge price in West Brom, and I'll be getting involved with that. And finally, Everton to finish in the bottom half at 92. I have to get involved with this. I think you disagree with Roberto Martinez. I
don't disagree with the bet. That's of interest.
Yeah. I think Martinez. I'm not a massive fan. Flirted with relegation throughout his time at Wigan. Got, of course, relegated in May. They won the FA Cup, of course, but as I keep saying to you in the office.
What do you expect from Wigan? Do you expect them not to be flirting with relegation in the Premier League?
Of course you wouldn't. But then I wouldn't expect the Wigan manager to get the job at Everton. Is what I would say. And he's got the job at Everton. And I think it's a huge ask for him. And David Moyes did a great job at Everton, as we all know. And when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, Everton were always in relegation trouble. So basically, I know it's gone quite a long time back, but Everton's form pre-Moyes, was poor in terms of seasons that he wasn't in charge for the whole campaign. 15th in 01-02, 16th in 2000-2001, 13th in 99-2000, 14th 98-99, 17th in 97-98, 15th in 96-97. I appreciate it's a long time ago. Some of you might not even been born, but it was a long time ago. And I just think, without Moyes, Everton have consistently struggled. And I just think at 92, I think Martinez has got a bit to prove. 92 to finish in the bottom half. I like the sound of that. That's my 3. Thanks.